Ja, herzlich willkommen zur neuen Ausgabe vom SI Talk. Und bei mir habe ich heute zum Interview Troy Grant. Er ist CEO und Direktor von Elcora Resources, die notiert in Frankfurt unter der Wertpapierkennnummer Anton 114BZ. Und ja, es geht um Graphit und natürlich um Graphen und im Zusammenhang. Und was ganz interessant ist, die Company produziert schon. Das ist also ein großer Unterschied zu vielen anderen Unternehmen. Und ja, Troy, thank you to have your time for me and to have you here. I will start with you bring me a presentation, and I start with the biggest slide. But first, yeah, I told my subscriber that you are a graphite story and graphene, and you are still in production, and your production is in Sri Lanka.
Yes.
So how did it come that you are now in production? Maybe you can just give us a rough history.
Okay. About 2 years ago, Elcora, I'm the CEO and founder of Elcora Resources, and 2 years ago we started looking. I reconnected with Dr. Ian Flint, who has a PhD in the processing and refining of graphite, has 30-some years experience, has worked on over 30 graphite projects across the world. And I engaged him to help me locate projects that he considered the top projects in the world. At that time, Sri Lanka, the civil war ended in Sri Lanka, and we started looking at projects in there. At June 30th of last year, we concluded our deal with the Secura Graphite, which is, they own the Graphitemine mine in Sri Lanka. It's one of 3 producing graphite mines currently in Sri Lanka, and Elcora did a deal with Secura to own a 40% equity stake and be the operator of the mine with a 30% profit management profit fee on the revenue.
Oh, okay, and at the moment you have a graphene on page 10 that you are mining at the moment around, is this right, 1,000 tons a year?
Yes, we're currently, it has fluctuated. In 2000. Let me back it up here. In 1970, the current mine, the Graphitemine mine, produced 18,000 tons a year. Mm-hmm. In 2011, the Secura founders restarted the mine and have, for the last 2 or 3 years, and have got it to the point where the production is approximately 1,000 tons a year. But currently, they're just stockpiling, or they were just stockpiling their graphite, and we still are stockpiling it until we build out the processing and refining facilities that we're currently doing now.
Okay, and what is the time frame that you finish the build of the process plant?
We're looking to finish the complete circuit first quarter of 2015.
Okay, and what are the CAPEX for this refinery?
It's approximately about $700,000 US.
Okay, that's really a slow amount. So you don't need financing for this to 700,000, or are you planning something in the next month?
No, I've financed the company to the point where we have enough cash in the treasury to get us to the first phase, and we currently have 500 tons of graphite stockpiled at the mine, and we're looking to do a deal there to sell that off as well to work with the end users that we currently have been testing with, mm-hmm. and add cash as well to the treasury.
Okay, when the processing facility is running, in which cash flow we can calculate it on? You write here that in the phase 2, the 2,500 tons a year, your income is annually around 6.5 million. What does mean in cash flows numbers?
Well, as the graphite in Sri Lanka is a very high-end and niche graphite product, and that commands a high-end price. So we're looking at markets right now of anywhere from, your low-end market of, if it was 97, 98%, is 1,500 all the way to $3,000 to $4,000 a ton. So we're looking to get our first mill. Once our first mill is complete, we're capable of producing 2,500 tons, and we're looking at markets right now of servicing anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 a ton. That's where and our costs currently on the mine side, they're about $136 a ton to get it out of the ground currently. We project that to go up to about $200 just because of the increased exploration side of the mine planning. And so we believe that we projected it to increase slightly, although with the increased production, we don't think it'll get any higher. The processing side is another $200 a ton. So we project all in on the cost is about $400 a ton.
So that's mean a high margin.
High margin. We're basically the world leaders there because China right now, their costs are about $650 a ton, and we come in at about $400 a ton for a superior product.
To reach the goal 5,000 tons a year and 10,000 tons a year, what you must do to reach these goals? We see markets. The demand in the market is there. We just have to implement our first phase, which we believe will be very, it's Q1 and Q2 of next year. Increase the production, and then from there we can grow internally with our cash flow. Okay.
And, keep the and therefore we want to get up to, our goal is to get past the production of where it was in 1970, and then is also at the same time as we're doing this, we're also making significant inroads in the graphene space as well.
Okay. Before we come to graphene, is your focus still on this mine, or are you looking around to other stuff too?
To answer that, we're constantly looking. We're focused right now to get this mine up and producing at the levels where we think we want to be, which is the 20,000 plus tons a year, and have the mill running at the same production and processing rate. But we do feel that there are, to diversify the company with another asset outside of Sri Lanka would be and would give us another flake size that we can deal with our end users as well.
So your future, you spoke about graphene. So what is your goal in the graphene sector or space?
Our advantage in the graphene side is one that because we control the graphite from the mine level to the processing level to the refining level, we really control the flake and the process of it. So that therefore the creation of graphene from our graphite is a very cost effective and easy process to do. And that allows us to start working with end users to show them that we produce graphene. And what we really want to do, our model in the graphene space is we want to be a producer of graphene. We don't want to hold different patents. We just want to work with the leaders in the fields in the graphene space that require a supply of graphene, and work with them, and we become their supplier of graphene.
So and what size you can or you expect you can produce in the end on the graphene side?
Sorry, what was that?
So on the graphene, you say you control the process also, and you want to be a graphene producer in the end. So what size of graphene you think you can produce in the end on
You mean in terms of quantities?
Yes.
Now, the answer to that is we want to start working with the end users quickly to establish their needs, and if they have demands of 2,000 tons a year, 1,000 tons a year, we can quickly do that.
Okay.
It'll depend on the users, their demand.
Okay.
We can supply what they need. Currently, the market right now is in the R&D stage, and the reason so currently a lot of our high-end users, because the graphite is a very niche graphite, a lot of the end users we're dealing with now are working in the graphene space as well. So it allows us to reach out to them on both sides.
Okay.
So that we work with them and then see which way they want to go. Once they know and tested our graphene, just like our graphite, we can then start.
Okay. The graphene space is too early to talk. I can say this in this way. So we don't know how large is the market in the end really, or how dynamic or what's dynamic coming up in the graphene sector. But you still have the opportunity to produce it. So
yes.
Okay.
Yes, and we want to show that we'll be showing that market very, very quickly that we produced the graphene from our Sri Lankan graphite, and then we're going to start letting the end users test it.
Okay. I've here the share structure, and it looks that you have shared issue 41 million, 41.
Yes.
0.6 billion and fully diluted 58 billion. So and your share price, what on this presentation 18 cents, is it around higher or lower?
Nope, that's correct.
Okay.
Exactly.
So your market cap is around 8 million or something? No,
8 million
rough 8
Canadian?
to 10 million.
Yeah, 8 million Canadian.
Okay. Yeah, I think for intro in your company, I think it was a good start. Troy, thank you to have time for me, and I will have a focus on your story too, especially that you are in production, and so that's a different story to other graphite and stores that we have around here in Germany. Thank you for your time, and ja, das war jetzt der Interview mit Troy Grant. Interessante Story. Die sind schon in Produktion, okay, sie produzieren es noch nicht und verkaufen es noch nicht, sondern sie dann stockpilen. Aber trotzdem ganz spannend, also sie wollen zuerst einmal 1000 Tonnen produzieren. Der Cashflow sollte auch dann reichen, um die weiteren Steps zu machen. Sie können jederzeit auch Graphen produzieren. Der Graphenmarkt ist jetzt gerade erst im Aufbruch, wir sind jetzt erst in dem Entwicklungsstadium. Und das hängt natürlich davon ab, wie schnell entwickelt sich der Markt, aber sie können es produzieren und sie arbeiten jetzt schon mit diesen Leuten teilweise zusammen. Das heißt, die liefern ja schon Produkte, zwar nur Kleinigkeiten, damit sie halt im Entwicklungsstadium das verarbeiten können. Spannende Story, sie brauchen kein Geld. Sehr gut, weil momentan an dem Markt ist es extrem schwierig, Geld zu bekommen. Die Marktkapitalisierung ist zwischen 8 und 10 Millionen. Und wenn man sich das anschaut, dass sie ungefähr 1000 Tonnen ist im ersten Quartal anfangen soll zum Produzieren. Hier haben wir den Chart. Sind das ungefähr Einnahmen von 2,6 Millionen. Die Marge ist extrem hoch. Sehen Sie, zwischen 2.000 und 3.000 Dollar verkaufen Sie das Produkt, 400 Dollar kostet die Produktion. Selbst wenn wir das jetzt nur verdoppeln und sagen, Sie brauchen 1.000 Tonnen mit allen möglichen 1.000 Dollar pro Tonne, bleiben nur immer 1.000 Dollar übrig. Und das ist eigentlich eine spannende Sache. Ja, wirklich spannend. Und schauen Sie auf die Company. Die News kriegen Sie sowieso auch über ERA.V. Und ja, hat mich gefreut, diese Company Ihnen vorstellen zu dürfen. Und wir bleiben am Ball und schauen Sie die Company an. So, danke und einen schönen Abend. Tschüss.